Good afternoon and welcome to the baseball ground for the Barclays League Division 1 game between Derby County and Chelsea on this Saturday, December the 15th, 1990. Chelsea at the moment are enjoying 9th place in Division 1 with 23 points from their 16 games. Derby County have played one game fewer and are in 14th place with 16 points from their 15 games. Both sides have to make changes today due to injury, and Derby County line up in the following manner. Peter Shilton is in goals. The fullbacks Mel Sage at 2, Nick Pickering at 3. The central defence, Mark Wright the captain at 5, Michael Forsyth 6. The midfield, Gary Micklewhite 7, Craig Ramage 4, Trevor Hebbard 10, Nigel Callaghan 11, and the strike pair Dean Saunders at 8 and Michael Harford at 9. Derby County substitutes this afternoon, Phil G and Paul Williams. Chelsea have their captain Dave Besant in goal, the fullbacks Gareth Hall and Tony DeRigo. The midfield, Graham Stewart at 4, Graham Lasso 7, David Lee 8 and Dennis Wise 11. And their strike pair, Kerry Dixon at 9, Gordon Dury at 10. Their substitutes, Kevin Wilson and Peter Nicholas. The referees, Mr I.J. Borrett of Norfolk, and the linesman, Mr A.E. Ashley and Mr E.B. Crompton. The mascot there, who's just leaving the field today, is Edward Robinson from Barton-under-Needwood near Burton. He attends John Taylor High School and enjoys playing and watching football as well as looking after his many pets. His favourite pet will be no doubt a ram, but his favourite Derby stars are Ted McMinn, Peter Shilton and Dean Saunders. So that's the Rams mascot today, Edward Robinson from Barton-under-Needwood. The team's changing ends, so Derby will be attacking the Normanton end of the ground and Chelsea attacking the Osbaston end where their supporters are situated. So Peter Shilton running towards the Osbaston end and getting a great reception from the Chelsea crowd. And it'll be Derby County to kick off. Gary Micklewhite and Craig Ramage, number 4 for Derby County, over the ball. Mr Borrett just checking the watch, and he'll soon have this game underway now. And there we are, we're away. Trevor Hebbard now for Derby County, looking for Michael Harford on the Derby right, but it's Ken Monku conceding the first throw of the afternoon. Mel Sage back in the side, replacing Mark Patterson. Finds Dean Saunders there with a beautiful ball, but slices his intended cross-scum shot, slices it behind, so Dave Besant will have the first goal kick of the afternoon. Chelsea, of course, without Andy Townsend this afternoon, the real powerhouse in their midfield. He swallowed his tongue in the previous match and had to have a little bit of life-saving attention to him. Happily all right again now, but not fit enough to play this afternoon. It was Mel Sage winning the ball in the air. The ball breaks now for Craig Ramage. He loses out, but the ball breaks back to him. Nick Pickering to Nigel Callaghan. Dean Saunders in a chase here with Jason Cundy. Turns to face him. And the Chelsea throw. Gareth Hall to take it. Dennis Wise, but Callaghan gets the foot there, so does Hebbard. Saunders into Harford, looking for Ramage, but it's cut out. Back to Callaghan. That shot to no avail as the infringement had already been given. But a rider start by Derby, who sensationally dumped out of the Rumbelows Cup midweek. A 2-1 home defeat by Sheffield Wednesday, who certainly looked good candidates for an early return to the First Division with their display here. And certainly surprised Derby County, who of course had held them at Hillsborough in the first match. Good flick on there by Dury, but Shilton out quickly. Shilton's kick looking for Harford. It's Tony Dorigo, the England fullback. Mel Sage, Ken Munku. Munku into touch for another Derby County throw. Sage, Mick Harford inside, nicely to Barry Micklewhite, looking for Saunders, but elected to have a go himself, but he's wide of the target. Dave Besant shouting at his defence for allowing Micklewhite to have the room to shoot. Dave Besant going it towards Graham Lasso on the left wing. Lasso flicks on, Dury inside for Dixon. Forsyth gets the ball back to Mark Wright. Now we have Peter Shilton. Dennis Wise, the number 11 of Chelsea, is on the right flank here, faced by Nick Pickering. And Lasso, just about to head the ball now, is on the left flank, wearing number 7. That's Dury tackling back on Mel Sage, but concedes the throw. Harford. Dorigo just got the foot in there, and it's another throw on the halfway line to Derby County. Harford again. And a foul this time by Dorigo gives Derby County a free kick. And Mark Wright is making his way to the centre of the attack. Kerry Dixon back to defend with him. There's Wright, gets the tickle on, but it's Gareth Hall with a kick out to Michael Forsyth on the halfway line. Forsyth picking up the clearance and turning it back now to Nick Pickering. Flicks off Dennis Wise, the intended pass to Forsyth, and it's Dixon now. Sending a very speedy Lasso away, and Lasso through. And a great save by Peter Shilton. Lasso again. And the first corner of the game to Chelsea. Certainly Graham Lasso showed Mel Sage a clean pair of heels there, but Peter Shilton, using all his experience, stood firm. Well, inside by Dave Lee that was, and cleared by Hebbard and Ramage. Saunders now with the ball, trying to find Ramage again. And that was almost a mistake by Cundy. Ramage in for Derby, but it's breaking to the Chelsea left. And that's played all the way back to Dave Besant by Dennis Wise. Dennis Wise, who is so close to being a Derby County player earlier on in the year. So Besant now looking for Dixon. He beats right in the air, knocked back by Dury to Dennis Wise. Chelsea coming more into it now in these last few moments. As an attacking force, that is. That's Wright's clearance. Harford back to Micklewhite. Harried by Lasso, but he gets the pass to Saunders. Faced by Dorigo now, is Saunders. Now it's Micklewhite, plays it back to Sage. Sage looking for Hebbard in space. Just didn't control it well on his chest. Good play by David Lee. Tries to set Dixon free, but Mark Wright there. Tony Dorigo now to throw in for Chelsea. Ken Munku. Back to Dave Besant. Kerry Dixon and Wright again. Wright powerfully heads down to Hebbard, who gets caught in possession. Dury now to Dixon. Hebbard bites back. The tackle was from behind, and referee Borrett gives the free kick to Chelsea. Well, one or two shooting experts here with Dixon, Wise and Dirigo, and it's Wise and Dirigo in fact who are officiating at this one. Dixon in the centre of the Derby County penalty area. Wise, and that's Dury. Takes a deflection and a corner. Big Ken Monku going up, number 6 for Chelsea. At the moment he's unmarked. Good flick on there. And oh, so close, and another corner. The Derby County defence being severely examined by these corners of Dennis Wise. Wise. Mark Wright concedes another corner. Getting above Dave Lee. And it was David Lee who scored the winner in last season's encounter. That's Wright again, clearing this time to good effect for Derby. Dirigo and Saunders thrown to Chelsea. The linesman said the ball flicked off Saunders, so it'll be Gareth Hall. I was just going to tell you when the home defeat was last year when David Lee scored that goal, October the 21st, 1989. Dury now. Forsyth leaves it to Wright, who strides forward. Got caught a little there by Chelsea players, but it's kept in very well. Derby keeping on the move, but forced backwards by Chelsea. And Dury forcing Pickering to play back to goalkeeper Chilton. Ball bounces. Derby's favour. Saunders. Shot blocked. And almost a spectacular goal by Callaghan. Saunders battling away for that, had a shot blocked by Cundy, and the ball broke to Callaghan. And that would have been a great goal for the on loan number 11. So it's all happening, and we have exactly 10 minutes on the clock. Still no score, but a lively opening by both sides. Mark Wright getting Forsyth out of trouble. Pickering downfield. Gareth Hall. Harford now didn't control it, and it's David Lee trying to send Dury down the right. Pickering there for Derby. Dury turns, he gets past Pickering, and it's there. Kerry Dixon opens the scoring in the 11th minute. Dury did all the work there with Pickering not getting the tackle in. And Derby find themselves a goal in arrears in 11 minutes. Kerry Dixon, the scorer. So after a bright opening by Derby, Chelsea have come right back into this and taken the lead. Here's the goal scorer, Kerry Dixon. Simple tap-in after the centre had completely beaten the Derby defence and Peter Shilton. So Derby behind once again, comes off Monku to Gareth Hall, safely back to Dave Besson. Besson looking for Dury. That's Michael Forsyth. Ramage going in with Dury again. Snell Lasso. Plays Dury on the left. And he backheels it to Gary Micklewhite for Derby County. he finds Michael Harford. That's Craig Ramage coming through, but couldn't quite reach it, and Chelsea tidy up. Arthur Cox frantically waving his troops forward. Dixon. Good control by the former England number 9. Dennis Wise to Gareth Hall. David Lee. Tony Dorigo. Dean Saunders tackling back, but Dorigo wins. Goes through between Micklewhite and Saunders. Dave Lee and Dury not quite getting the ball there, and it's Derby County clearing, and it's Harford. Free kick there, fouled by Tony Dorigo, catching the back of Mick Harford's boot. Mark Wright with the kick. Cundy, Monku, and he falls for Ramage. Plays the ball to Sage. Sage looking for support down the right, he's not got it. Micklewhite isn't there, but he's now found Saunders. Saunders has got Micklewhite with him if he needs him. And he's won a corner, I think. Corner kick it is. Mark Wright and Michael Forsyth going up for this, leaving Nick Pickering on the centre circle. Derby County needing a quick break back here. Harford, but Monku there. Now it's Trevor Hebbard. Nigel Callaghan. Now trying to find Mark Wright, and it's Kerry Dixon out for the corner. All action in this first quarter of an hour. We're just entering the 15th minute of the game now. Derby County 0, Chelsea 1. Scorer Kerry Dixon in the 11th minute. Mark Wright. Harford. Saunders and it equalised. There have been a number of goals around the 15th, 16th minutes here at the baseball ground in recent matches, and that's another of them. The Saunders equaliser. So good play by Mick Harford to dink that little diagonal ball over, and just a nod from Dean Saunders did the rest. So Derby County bite back just as they did against Notts Forest. When they went to goal down there and won the game eventually by 2-1. So 1-1 here at the baseball ground. And that's Dean Saunders' 11th goal of the season, his 8th in the league. Mark Wright now looking for Saunders again. The linesman on this side of the field waving for offside. Dave Besant now looking for Gordon Dury. Michael Forsyth there with him for Derby County. That's Hall to Wise. Good tackle by Pickering this time, and Callaghan plays the ball back to Peter Shilton. Harford pushed by Cundy. Free kick to Derby County. Referee Borrett had a good view of that. Nigel Callaghan looks if he's the man to take it. He may even have a dip. Didn't really get hold of it, and it's skidded quite well wide of David Besant's left-hand post. Mark Wright again above Gordon Dury. That's a throw into Chelsea. Back to Ken Monku. No doubt let David Besant kick the ball upfield. Dixon beats Forsyth in the air, and there's Mark Wright just knocking it back to Peter Shilton as Dave Lee closes in. It's Tony Dorigo on a poor kick by Shilton. Finds Dury. Good pass for Lasso, and he's brought down by Sage. No doubt about that, and he's got the legs of Mel Sage as Graham Lasso. Very quick player. And the Derby County number 2 will have to watch what he's doing about his tackling. Dennis Wise giving instructions there to the people in the penalty area. Ken Monku up there, Gary Dixon, Dave Lee, Gordon Dury, centre back Cundy. So flick on by Graham Lasso, and it's gone for the corner. Dennis Wise again, and this artistry with the dead ball situation is one of the reasons why Arthur Cox was so interested in this number 11. It's Mick Harford in the penalty area, and Callahan coming out doing yeoman's service, but it's another corner. Mark Wright, only out to Wise again. He's got Dorigo in support. There's Dorigo. Big one into David Lee. And that was Gary Micklewhite deflecting to attempt a shot out. But we're back in there towards Gary Dixon and Graham Lasso. It's Cundy who managed to promote the ball to Graham Lasso on that occasion. 20 minutes of the game gone. Score Derby County 1, Chelsea 1. Kerry Dixon opening the score in 11 minutes, and Dean Saunders equalising on the quarter hour. Dennis Wise again. Another poor kick by Peter Shilton, really. And now we have Gordon Dury down injured, but I think he'll get up again. Good ball there to release Saunders on the Derby left. Faced by Monku and Hall. And that's Ramage to Pickering. Mick Harford. And Ramage took a nasty knock there, but he's running again, he's up and running. Tony Dorigo now for Chelsea in a fast-flowing game, looking for Lasso. Not quite finding him. Mark Wright reading the ball well. Now Craig Ramage taking over. Nigel Callahan. Saunders wanting it on the left as Callahan cuts in. Doesn't beat Hall. Now it's Forsyth. Forward for Ramage. Good control by Ramage to Harford. Seeing that Micklewhite was straying offside, the ball went to Sage. Micklewhite back to Sage. Now it's Hebbard. Hebbard, that flicks off Cundy. Dave Lee back. And Gareth Hall to Dennis Wise to get Chelsea going again. It's Gordon Dury, fully fit again after that knock he took. What's on the substitutes bench this afternoon? We have a former Derby County forward, Kevin Wilson. There's some yeoman service in the 3rd Division days for Derby County, and since had a good career with Ipswich and Chelsea. That was a good pass by Ramage. I can understand his disquiet at Nigel Callahan. That's Hall again. From Graham Stewart's pass. Micklewhite. Harford spreads the ball beautifully for Sage, but look at Lasso. Throw in for Derby to Saunders. Saunders. Good control by Saunders. He's got Monku though. And Monku stood his ground. Gets the ball out for Gordon Dury. Dury forced back, but gets a good ball across to Dennis Wise. And that's Harford again doing some good work in midfield. And Forsyth back to Peter Shilton. And that was the number 4, Graham Stewart, to Chelsea, who was going on that run. Mickey Harford certainly had through a lot of work there, in both in attack and in midfield positions. Must have flicked that over Cundy, but it's Gareth Hall back to Besant. Michael White just unable to get that, and it's Lasso trying to find Dury, but slicing his through ball directly to Peter Shilton. He's looking for Harford, who's going to challenge Monku, who gets his head to the ball. Trevor Hebbard blocked by Stewart, and a pass straight back to Chelsea there by Derby, and that's Dixon. Dixon forcing Forsyth into that error, and Peter Shilton got him out of it. He went out to play himself but get the ball in. That's Harford. Rummage. Monku looking for Dury. It's Lasso again on Sage. He knows he's got the pace to beat Sage, and to Mel Sage back in the side to start the game. Has kept his head there. It's Harford again. Looked like a foul by Monku, but Derby back in possession through Hebbard. Saunders and Hebbard. Hebbard put it to the wrong side for Saunders. Now it's Nick Pickering. Plays the ball to Sage. Harford. And Harford felled again by Cundy. But there's Graham Stewart mixing the two up there. Chelsea number 4, Graham Stewart, it was who brought down the tall Derby County striker Michael Harford. So it'll be Mel Sage with the kick. Mark right up, but Mark Forsyth back. Here's Harford. Just off balance and forced into a snapshot there, and went comfortably wide of Dave Besant's right-hand post. So the score after 25 minutes is still Derby County 1, Chelsea 1. Mark Wright hits Ramage. Breaks for Stewart, but it's Mel Sage now beating Lasso that time beautifully. Good flick on by Saunders to Ramage, who wastes the opportunity. He'd got the room, Harford hadn't. That's Dixon beating Wright. Dury laying it back to Stewart. Stewart now coming inside. Stewart. Nigel Callahan calling for the ball and getting it. Nick Pickering on the Derby left. Passes it to where Trevor Hebbard used to be. There's a tackle in there, but it's Chelsea on the ball, but there'll be a foul and a free kick in Chelsea's favour. Michael Harford on Dennis Wise. Gareth Hall with a kick, looking for Kerry Dixon, and it's Nick Pickering hacking clear this time. Harford again and makes himself available. Good ball control by the big number 9, but he presents it to Graham Lasso. Dury back to Lasso, and in a tight situation crosses the ball behind for the goal kick. Peter Shilton. Flicked on by Harford for Ramage, who can only knock it up in the air. It's David Lee for Chelsea. Lasso. Stewart to Diori. He's got Lasso in now inside him. Mark Wright pulled out to... Diori goes round him beautifully. He's faced by him again, though, and Michael White concedes the throw. Diori to Lasso. Sage right with him. That time it was a foul by Trevor Heaven. And big Ken Monku coming up, and Mickey Harford coming back again to do some defending. Dennis Wise with the kick. Saunders staying up. Monku. Diori to Dorigo. That was Stewart. It's Lee to Wise. Wise across for Dixon. Back to Monku. Diori. And a marvellous save by Peter Shilton. Supporters of both sides rising to that save by Peter Shilton. World class. So Dennis Wise with left another corner kick. Nick Pickering out for Derby. Dorigo though back to Wise. Beats Saunders. Dorigo in. That's Dixon. And Diori with the acrobatic bicycle kick, unable to do anything else but put it out of play for a goal kick to Derby County. So Derby County certainly have to thank Peter Shilton for the fact that they're still at 1-1, as did Chelsea, that he performed what turned out in the end to be a relatively easy save from Dean Saunders. Now Derby with Michael White on the pass from Harford. Ramage taking over but not taking the ball with him. Ball didn't run for him. It's now Stewart out to Lasso. Ramage nicking the ball off him, and it's Mark Wright to Nigel Callaghan. Pickering on the overlap. There's Saunders going down the left. Pickering going as well. Pickering in fact going in the inside left position. Saunders using him as a decoy. Now it's Monku. It's Stewart who got the ball out to Callaghan. Callaghan looking for Mel Sage, and that was Graham Lasso playing the ball nicely out to him, making rapid strides down the Chelsea left. There he goes. A lovely bowl out by Dave Besant. Michael White to tackle him, and Michael White gets what probably is the most effective tackle on him so far this afternoon. So throw in to Chelsea. Tony Dorigo to take it. Into David Lee. Lasso beaten by Sage. Good ball there for Craig Ramage. Nigel Callaghan brought down by Gareth Hall. Nasty knock on the ankle there, and Gordon Guthrie called on to treat the Derby County winger. Of course, as I say, he's on loan from Aston Villa. It's his third month on loan, third and final month. It'll be Mel Sage when Nigel Callaghan's back on his feet. Coming on 35 minutes. That injury. Mel Sage kick. Mark Wright up there, but Dixon beats him. Graham Lasso. Gordon Diori's down the middle if he can find him. That's Stewart on the run. Michael Forsyth. Boney back to Lasso. This time it's Diori offside. Michael Forsyth back to Peter Shilton. Michael Harford, good flick on. They'll play Micklewhite. Ramage there, but Micklewhite continues. It's Ramage on the pass from Callahan. Good tackle on him by Cundy. And it's Wise now for Chelsea. Trying to get Dixon down the right. This Forsyth. Nice ball to Callahan. Callahan's got Hibbard inside, uses him. Mark Wright. Dury chases across. Good play by Mark Wright, earning himself a bit of space. And it's back to Peter Shilton. Michael Harford, good chest control there. It's Dorigo forward. Harford again, knocked it to the right, but it's only to Lasso, who's looking for Sage. Throw into Derby County though, just by the dugout, where Arthur Cox is yelling instructions. In fact, it was a bit further forward than that, says referee Borrett. It's acted just inside the Chelsea half. That was so again, finding Dury. Right, beating Dixon to the ball. It's Cundy underneath it. Did well to control that ball. And throw into Chelsea. Gareth Hall winning that one off Nigel Callahan. Stewart back to Hall. David Lee to Tony Dorigo, and Chelsea comes swarming out. Gordon Dury, back to Tony Dorigo. Trevor Hibbard. It's Tony Dorigo, though, beating Harford on that occasion. Ken Monku. Present there for Nigel Callahan. Dean Saunders. Back to Nick Pickering. Looking for Trevor Hibbard. His goal side of Jason Cundy. But Dave Besant, after slipping, did well to recover to gather the cross. Gordon Dury, thumped in the back by Forsyth. A free kick to Chelsea. Good running by Trevor Hibbard and a good pass by Pickering to find him. It's now David Lee to take this free kick. Ken Monku up there. That's Trevor Hibbard out. Only back to David Lee though. It's Dennis Wise, faced by Pickering. Flick on by Lasso, and that's Mark Wright. And Kerry Dixon, in fact it was Dixon who got the touch. And it was only just over Peter Shilton's bar. Shows the value of a good crosser of the ball, as Dennis Wise obviously is. McArthur back to Nick Pickering. Looking for Dean Saunders. Gareth Hall. Nick Pickering quickly on Wise, but Wise gets the tickle on the ball. Dave Lee. Carried it. Trying to send Dixon away, and he was obstructed by Michael Forsyth. And Forsyth is being booked. Dennis Wise with the kick. Out by Sage. Back to Wise. Wise with Dorigo in support, but Wise gets the crossover. Headed out by Harford. David Lee. And that's Dixon's second. Good save initially by Peter Shilton, but Dixon gets his second goal. 42 minutes. Mark Wright forward. Ken Monku to Graham Lasso. Throw into Derby County. Can Derby County get back again before the interval? Saunders back to Sage. Dorigo forward for Dixon, 2-goal man at the moment. Ramage for Derby County. Saunders doesn't get his pass in for Hebbard. Hebbard only to Lasso. He was fouled by Michael White. Free kick to Chelsea. Tony Dorigo. Mark of a side now to Nigel Callaghan. Beautiful ball for Saunders. Harford in there. Headed out by Monku. This is Callaghan. Pickering back to Callaghan. Looking for Harford. And Harford got the touch there, but just couldn't direct it past Besson. Lovely ball over Kenny Monku. Michael Forsyth. Stewart in quickly and Dury profiting almost. Now it's Lasso. That's Dennis Wise. Bringing Peter Shilton to a save, and Chelsea River got the tails up now. The controversial goal really resulting from the foul by Michael Forsyth. Trevor Hebbard. Mark Wright kicking it anywhere. Dennis Wise. Thrown to Derby County. Nick Pickering with it. Gareth Hall. Gordon Dury. Dury with a beautiful cross. That was Stewart, but it's Hebbard now coming away for Derby County. Back to Nick Pickering. Pickering to Mark Wright. It's got caught out. Here's Gareth Hall. And it's there. Gordon Dury. Derby committed defensive suicide and paying for it. Gordon Dury right in the last minute of the first half on the clock. There's a little bit of injury time, but Chelsea now 3-1 up, and as soon as that pass from Pickering went inside to Mark Wright, he was caught by 3 players. Pickering could have done anything with it, but what he did, putting Mark right into trouble. It was odds on the goal as soon as that happened. Chelsea with Lasso now looking for David Lee, but there's Michael Forsyth to be a throw to Derby County. Accept the simple nature of the Chelsea goals. We've got to question the way Derby County are defending here this afternoon. Saunders, but he's way over. Controversial first half, to say the least. Kerry Dixon giving Chelsea the lead in 11 minutes. Dean Saunders equalising for Derby after 15. Dixon again in 41 minutes putting the pensioners 2-1 ahead, and Gordon Dury just a minute from time making it 3-1 in Chelsea's favour. So there we have it. Can Derby County get back in the second half? We shall soon find out. The score at half-time, Derby County 1, Chelsea 3. Well, welcome back for the second half, and the referee booed by the Derby crowd as he came out. Two teams cheered by their respective supporters, but the referee incurring the wrath of the Derby fans towards the end of the first half. And Chelsea kick off with a comfortable 3-1 lead, with 2 goals scored in the last 4 minutes of the half, to give them this 3-1 advantage. But must be said that Derby's defence left a lot to be desired on both occasions. That's Lasso beating Sage, finding Dixon, who scored 2 of the goals. Beautiful play to beat Ramage, looking for the hat-trick, but not getting the ball on target on that occasion. Peter Shilton now for Derby County, looking for for Mick Harford, who was tackled by Ken Monku, but Harford does well. He's had a good game, Mick Harford, trying to hold the Derby County front line together. Derby County again suffering from the lack of penetration from midfield. It's Nigel Callaghan. Trevor Hebbard. Cross to Mel Sage. He's faced by Graham Lasso. In for Saunders. Saunders a quick turn and a quick curve shot. Was curving on target, but well read by Dave Besant. Lurch as he's known. And shot to T changing these opening moments. Gary Micklewhite now for Derby County. Ball for Dean Saunders. Faced by Ken Monku. Derby can obviously do with at least 1 goal early in this second half. Gary Micklewhite to Trevor Hebbard. Shot blocked, hacked out by Dave Lee. And Chelsea breaking quickly. There's lovely control by Dixon on that pass from Wise. But a poor pass by Graham Stewart ruins what would have been a good move. Trying to find Diori, sliced it out for the goal kick. No changes made by either manager at half-time. Mick Harford forced to head it back and into touch. Throw into Chelsea. Tony Dorigo to take it. Another throw, this time Micklewhite on Lasso. Dorigo into Stewart. Dorigo again. Infield, only to Hebbard. Ramage picks the ball up, so no foul given. Pickering forward, but only to David Lee. Hebbard now for Derby County, down to Mick Harford. Looking for Saunders, but it's too close to Ken Monku, and didn't even, in fact, have to touch it. Jason Cundy. And Gareth Hall back to the goalkeeper. Mark Wright. And pulled back by Kerry Dixon. And that decision being greeted by loud cheers by the Derby County fans. Derisory cheers at that. And now it's Hebbard to Micklewhite. Micklewhite trying to engineer some room. And it's Chelsea breaking away through Stewart. Diori sending Dixon away on the right. Stewart is in the middle on his own, but a poor cross. It's not going out yet. And a throw into Chelsea right by the corner flag. The Derby defence, I don't think, or the Derby team haven't really recovered from Wednesday night's match against Sheffield Wednesday, when they were really exposed. And Chelsea doing similar work this afternoon. Wise this time beaten by Sage. Monku coming in to beat Harford. Stewart dancing around Hebbard. Dury tackled by Callahan, but it breaks for Stewart. That's Mark Wright, almost getting into trouble. And David Lee. And it's the brilliant defending by Michael Versailles prevents Kerry Dixon getting his hat-trick. Derby defence in all sorts of bother. It's a long time since I've seen them in this sort of a mess, and it's a mess of their own making in most respects. I mean, Chelsea are playing well. They've got the tails up with a 3-1 lead, but Derby County committing suicide in defence at times. David Lee. Dennis Wise to the far post, but it's behind. It's a goal kick. Things just might alter for Derby if they could just pull a goal back. But at the moment, there's no sign of that. Apart from Saunders' goal, there's been precious little for Dave Besson to worry about. Which has certainly not been the case for Peter Shilton. It's Monku. Harford. Played well. Hubbard. Looking for Saunders. Offside flag against Dean Saunders. So Tony Dorigo plays the ball back to Dave Besson. Besson now. And Chelsea downfield. Michael Forsyth up with Gordon Dury. Into Gary Micklewhite. Cross to Nick Pickering. Pickering to Callahan. Callahan looking for Saunders. Jason Cundy there. Good play by young Cundy. Gareth Hall downfield for Dixon. There's Wright for Derby. Trevor Hubbard picks up. Tries to dink it through, but Micklewhite had come a bit further back. No danger to Chelsea. The difference between the two sides, Chelsea looking dangerous when they move forward. Derby, their attacks petering out anyway from midway inside the Chelsea half onwards. Now it's Hubbard. Ball coming back to beat Callahan. Chelsea looking with urgency at this game at the moment. They realise that they could get a bag full if they really put their minds to it. Dennis Wise and Nick Pickering. Wise back to Dave Lee. Wise. Mark Wright out. Nigel Callahan now. And that was Cundy, but only finds Micklewhite for Derby County. Saunders. Got very little support. Faced by blue shirts, and that's Besson's. Poor effort to find Mick Harford there by Dean Saunders. No trouble at all for Dave Besson. And Tony Dorigo now. No doubt give the ball back to his goalkeeper. Mark Wright. Mick Harford down for Rummage. Hubbard to Harford. It's all too close though for Derby. There's nobody to spread the ball out to. Micklewhite was so far in field. Forsyth now to Callahan, who's come across to try and engineer something. To Micklewhite. Dorigo, a very quick pull back and a goal kick. Dave Besson yelling at his defence. Ken Monku in particular. And Derby County are taking off Craig Rummage. I think the Derby fans really wanted Nick Pickering to go, if I read that situation correctly. But it's a double substitute. I thought Ken Monku was going off. I think he got in a little spot of bother, but Paul Williams is on in place of Ramage after 10 minutes of the second half. 55 minutes, Paul Williams on for Craig Ramage. Good knock on by Dury, but it's Mark Wright. Peter Shilton now. Dave Lee. And this time, Graham Lasso. Graham Lasso beating Mel Sage, or fouling him rather. Throw into Derby County. See what Paul Williams can do in the midfield, wearing the number 14. Dorigo downfield, only to Sage. Goes in fact over Sage to Dixon. Lovely ball for Lasso, but it's cut out by Sage. Picked up by Forsyth. Infield to Paul Williams for his first touch. Comes off Graham Stewart, back to Paul Williams. And that's back to goalkeeper Peter Shilton. Offered to just to have fouled Dave Lee there. And Monku, in fact, Ken Monku going off to be replaced by Peter Nicholas. So both number 14s on. Foul by Pickering on Wise, and this referee really spoiling a good game. Mel Sage out, Callahan to Hebbard. Hebbard hacks forward. Only for Hall to find Peter Nicholas. That's Paul. And this referee being very fussy because Chelsea was still in possession. It's Gareth Hall with his kick. Mark Wright. Trevor Hebbard now for Derby with Graham Lasso at his back to Nigel Callahan. Callahan trying to control it but can't. Throw into Chelsea. And Derby not getting the ball clear again till Sage punted it forward, but it's Chelsea almost back in possession there. But Michael White to Hebbard. Harford does well to win the ball, but Durigo back to his goalkeeper. Durigo preventing Saunders from getting anywhere. Durigo now. So we've had 13 minutes of this second half. Score still Derby County 1, Chelsea 3. And Derby County in desperate need of a goal, but not looking like Engineering one. Mel Sage for Derby County, Gary Micklewhite, Paul Williams, Trevor Hebbard. Going to knock it to Lasso. Sage stands firm, and Lasso fouling Sage. Free kick for Derby County. Again, derisory cheers from the Derby County fans. Another foul this time by Dave Lee on Michael Harford. Dave Lee not playing so prominently in midfield as he was, but he's had to drop back anyway for Ken Monku. Peter Nicholas having dropped into midfield. And of course now we've got two free kick experts from this sort of distance with regard to Derby County, Dean Saunders and Nigel Callaghan. Interesting to see which one of them affects the kick. And Dave Besant kept cool there. Well, that shot from Saunders finds Lasso. Throw into Derby County. Michael White back to Sage. Paul Williams. Foul by Cundy on Paul Williams gives Derby County a free kick. Mark Wright going up. Michael Forsyth staying back on the halfway line, although he's got nobody to mark at the moment. Sage's kick. Harford knocks it down for Wright. Just couldn't get it. Peter Nicholas out, but it's Callan to retrieve the situation. Can he get the cross in? Decides to try and beat Hall. Back to Pickering. Pickering with a cross. Harford. And Trevor Hebbard puts the ball in, and Paul Williams showing the urgency by sprinting to get the ball out of the net. Only Paul Williams of the Derby County side showed that urgency. Well done, Paul Williams, although it's Trevor Hebbard that has pulled the game back to 2-3. That goal coming in the 17th minute of the half. 62. Peter Shilton now. Nick Harford with Dave Lee. Dorigo finds Lasso for Chelsea. Lasso, speed merchant, outstripping Sage. Paul Williams with him. And a good tackle by Mark Wright. When it looked odds on probably a corner to be given away, Mark Wright, with all his guile, gets a good tackle in to concede only a throw. Peter Nicholas to Tony Dorigo. In for Lasso, who'd gone to sleep. Paul Williams. That's a throw off Lasso. Chelsea, of course, won the opening game of the season against Derby at Stamford Bridge by 1-0. In fact, by 2-1, I should say. Won by the odd goal in 3. And it's now the odd goal in 5 that they lead this one. Dean Saunders, of course, missed a penalty at Stamford Bridge, which could have brought the game back to 2-2. Michael Forsyth back to Peter Shilton. Shilton's kick deep into the half. Harford heads down, only for Chelsea. Lasso brilliantly between Williams and Sage, but only finds Mark Wright. Certainly got a good turn of pace, Graham Lasso. Ball passed by Wright to Peter Nicholas. This time Kerry Dixon offside. On that pass from Graham Stewart. Derby fans rejuvenated by that goal by Trevor Hebbard. Again, another poor kick by Wright. Sage beats Lasso this time. Michael White forward, but no foul, says the referee. Dave Besant for Chelsea. Throw into Chelsea. Sage able to keep the ball in. That was Dorigo in for Peter Nicholas. Nick Harford into touch. And in fact, Nick Harford's won the throw. Throw by Sage into Hebbard, score of Derby County's second goal. Sage forward to Harford. Harford to Hebbard. Back to Peter Shilton. Mick Harford to Paul Williams. Trev Edward picks up. Nick Pickering. Nigel Callaghan. Faced by Wise and Hall. Gets in a good centre. Saunders! So Dean Saunders with his 12th goal of the season, his 9th in the league, puts Derby County level. The score in this pulsating match: Derby County 3, Chelsea 3. Nick Harford battling with Dave Lee. Harford with a shot, no trouble to Dave Besant on that occasion, a little bit ambitious. Two lovely nods to the head by Dean Saunders has kept Derby in this game. Mark Wright powering forward. Harford. Gareth Hall for Chelsea. Chelsea understandably rattled. Dixon finds Stewart. Stewart again from Dorigo. Chelsea in the form of Kerry Dixon there, but Peter Shilton forward. Mick Harford, good control. Gary Micklewhite now. Gets Sage behind him. Finds Dean Saunders. Can't get past Jason Cundy. Now Graham Lasso leaving Sage for dead. Chelsea break again. That's Kerry Dixon, but it's too heavy. The pass too heavy. So it'll be a goal kick to Derby County. Well, it really is a great fight back by Derby County. One wonders what would have happened had they not conceded the 2 goals just before half-time. There were 2 sloppy goals to concede. And Gordon Guthrie now on to look at Mark Wright. Mark Wright down there, the England centre-back. But it's been tremendous fight back this half. Derby, of course, as I say, losing the first one half 3 goals to 1, but they're 2 goals to 0 in front in this half to bring it back to 3-all. Mark Wright fit again, so we'll have a moment or so's injury time to add on for that one. Well, actually in the 25th minute of the half. It's David Lee forward. Michael Forsyth for Derby County. Saunders lays it off to Callaghan. Callaghan forward for Saunders. Micklewhite, but the foul had been given anyway. Saunders having fouled Cunding to get into a goal poaching position. So the goal wouldn't have counted. Dorigo now to Peter Nicholas. tremendously experienced midfield player. Crystal Palace and Arsenal and Aberdeen. Free kick now for Derby County. Gordon Dury cutting off the quick free kick to Peter Shilton, so Mel Sage will have to promote the ball upfield for Mick Harford, who's got his hand up. There's Harford going for it. David Lee now with the free kick. Harford committing the foul. Tony Dorigo, in fact, with the kick. Looking for Kerry Dixon. Mark Wright's there. Trevor Hebbard, but loses it to Peter Nicholas. Mel Sage out for Derby County. Dean Saunders to Callahan. Saunders with David Lee. Saunders trying to go between the two. And it's corner kick. Mark Wright not yet decided to go up. I think he is going to go. It's going to be a late arrival on the edge of the area. Mel Sage stopping back with Dennis Wise, with Paul Williams as well. Everybody else up for Derby County. Sails over Harford. Can Nigel Callahan keep it in? That's Hall clearing. Dennis Wise now for Chelsea. He's got Diori with him. He can get the ball across, but Paul Williams. Good tackling back by Paul Williams. Quick throw by Chelsea. Dennis Wise again. And he's floored by Callahan. Free kick to Chelsea. So the score after 27 minutes of this pulsating second half. Derby County 3, Chelsea 3. Referee satisfied, despite the fact the Derby County populace over on that side not. Pickering heads out. Peter Nicholas back to Tony Dorigo. Dorigo forward to Kerry Dixon, beaten by Wright. Callan coming back. Robbed by Wise. Lovely chip over by Wise. Here's Lasso. Sage forward to Saunders, chests it down for Harford. Good nick on by Harford for Saunders again. Faced by David Lee, the Chelsea number 8. And Lee concedes a throw in. Mel Sage. Throw back to Michael Forsyth. That's out to Dennis Wise. And it's throw into Derby County. Nick Pickering to take it. Dury thought it was Chelsea's. Callahan. Good turn by Callahan, but he's tackled out of it by 3 players. Paul Williams coming into it for Derby. Throw in. So Chelsea almost breaking away. Paul Williams making the difference. Paul Williams now. In for Saunders. Oh. And Gary Micklewhite. Gary Micklewhite in the 75th minute. An unbelievable scoreline here at the baseball ground. And a free kick to Derby County, but Borrett plays it on, referee Borrett. Paul Williams, beautiful play. Micklewhite again. And that's a corner kick. And it's Chelsea's turn to look all at sea. Well, who'd have thought this after the first half? Because the way Derby finished the first half, they were down and out. But they've scored 3 goals without reply in this half, after Chelsea had really looked as if they might add to it. Harford, but it's beaten by Cundy. Chelsea coming away through Graham Stewart. Spread the ball to Gordon Dury. Chelsea with Dixon on the far post. And there's Dixon. And it's there. Dennis Wise, in fact. Dennis Wise. And unbelievably 4-4. Chelsea always had men over there. And Callahan now for Derby. Harford on for Saunders. Throw into Derby County. Well, 3-1 to Chelsea in the first half, 3-1 to Derby in this half. 4 each. And the game still about a quarter of an hour to go. Just under a quarter of an hour. Dave Besson. Peter Nicholas now for Chelsea, back to Gareth Hall. Mark Wright with Dixon, and the ball falls for Graham Stewart. It's fouled by Paul Williams, a free kick to Chelsea. Well, this could prove dangerous to Derby County. Mark Wright out. Paul Williams can only tickle it, and it's a throw in. Peter Nicholas. Nigel Callahan wins that one. Gordon Dury tackling back. And Dury will be in the book. Dury has the caution. Score with 12 minutes plus injury time left. Derby County 4, Chelsea 4. This is a scoreline of a third round FA Cup tie, 1953, between these two clubs at the baseball ground. Pickering with the kick. Good clearance by Chelsea, and that's Stewart looking for the speed of Lasso, but Sage there forcing Peter Shot to a diving save to stop an unnecessary corner. Harford, flick on for Micklewhite, but there's Dorigo. Mark Wright coming in with Dixon. Dixon winning the ball, and it's Wise to Lasso. Lasso. Obstructed by Sage, so free kick should be indirect, but referee Borrett, yes, now raises his arm. So Dorigo to float over, indirect free kick. That was Michael Forsyth. Nigel Callahan, Dean Saunders, Nigel Callahan going forward. They throw into Derby County, Jason Cundy nicking the ball off Callahan. A good ground gain by Derby County. In for Saunders, faced by 3 men as he usually is, gets the ball across. Falls for Micklewhite. Thinks it over, but it's Cundy with the header out. The sew in with Williams, it falls for Harford. Now it's Sage on that clearance. Saunders. Pickering going in. And Harper gets a shot on target, but no trouble to big Dave Besant, who now finds Tony Dorigo, and Chelsea come away. Trevor Hebbard there, winning the ball. Micklewhite. Dave Lee into touch. Saunders offering himself. And it's brought down by David Lee. Free kick to Derby County. Sage started a 5-yard dash there, but he's coming back now. Paul Williams and Michael Forsyth again stopping back with Dennis Wise as Micklewhite floats this over. Besant already on his way out. Collects with ease. Peter Nicholas to Tony Dorigo from the free kick. That's Dennis Wise. It's Mark Wright. Steady one out for Paul Williams. And he makes a present of it to Peter Nicholas, but here again, back to Micklewhite, and then via Sage to Peter Shilton. And Peter Shilton now, can he get a deep one in? 8 minutes plus injury time left. Mick Harford. Just knocked out of it there by Dave Lee. Mark Wright to Paul Williams. Micklewhite. Micklewhite just tackled out of it by Gareth Hall. A good play by Chelsea, but Mark Wright intercepts and storms away and comes past Dennis Wise. It's Trevor Hebbard. Harford's come onto the right flank for Derby. Good pass in for Saunders by Hebbard. And that was a save which matched Chilton's in the first half. Shot from further out by Saunders, than the one by Diori, which produced a fine save by Peter Shilton in the first half, but Besant equaling it there with that save from Saunders to concede that corner. Gary Micklewhite with the corner. That was Mickey Harford, but Dave Besant controlling his 6-yard area. Gordon Diori now with Mark Wright chasing him. Wright going into the middle. Diori, it's there. Nobody getting a tackle in on Gordon Diori. And Derby paid the penalty for backing off. Mark Wright left it to Mel Sage. Mel Sage couldn't do anything. He didn't get in a tackle. And Gordon Diori gets his second goal with 6 minutes left. So the scoring, Dixon now for Chelsea, and Chelsea coming again, and Sage again committing a foul. This time Borrett's not giving it. Mr. Borrett's not giving it. Paul Williams to Mel Sage. Now Nick Pickering. Gordon Diori into touch. Derby County throw in. Callaghan now for the Derby County, but he's tackled by Peter Nicholas. Wise to Dixon, to Diori. And Diori slowing it down. They're 5-4 up, they've no need to hurry. Into Peter Nicholas. Dennis Wise. There's Diori again. This time a goal kick. Goal takes up valuable moments. As Derby County and Chelsea reach the last 5 minutes of this pulsating game. It's Kerry Dixon. Lovely layoff to Gordon Diori. Dennis Wise. Michael Forsyth with him. Wise beats Forsyth. Comes back off Paul Williams. Pickering to Saunders. Callahan to Saunders. Saunders away. Big Dave Lee going across to look after him, and he loses it. Saunders' control lets him down at the vital moment. And that typifies Derby's afternoon, really. Nothing's really gone right for them. They never looked comfortable even when they got back to 3-all. And another free kick to Chelsea in that melee. They've got to say who committed the foul there. Trevor Hebbard or Paul Williams. Diori winning the throw off Nick Pickering. Ball now. The ball's gone out as Wise tries to get round Williams. Throw into Derby County. Derby County want to get the ball down in the Chelsea half if they're going to retrieve this situation. Saunders now. Mark Wright. Mick Harford and the referee. Back to Pickering. Well, that's Graham Stewart with the header. Paul Williams coming in. And Dennis Wise making a back for him. So a free kick to Derby County. Everybody piling up now. Derby County not going to leave anybody back in particular, except presumably the kicker of the free kick, or the taker of the free kick, I should say, Nigel Callahan. Callahan, Mark Wright there, knocked it up in the air, but it's Cundy out. Pickering there with Diori. Diori, a good ball downfield. And Paul Williams there, got the legs of Dennis Wise. Callahan there, out on the Derby County left, receives the ball from Peter Shilton. Forward for Saunders. But there's Cundy again. And Gordon Diori back for David Besant. Oh, he had to struggle that time. Well, it's certainly been an exciting game, if not one for the purists. But, Sage, Hebbard, throw into Derby County. Michael White to Saunders. Cundy with him. Zerigo as well. And it's another throw to Derby County. And the linesman flagging to the late referee. Sage, a pathetic effort at this time of the day, and it's the substitution the linesman was trying to attract the referee to. Kevin Wilson is coming on. Dennis Wise is going off, and that's with only about 2 minutes left. So Kevin Wilson, the former Derby striker, wearing number 12, is on the pitch. But whether he'll get a touch of the ball is another thing. Mel Sage. There's Kevin Wilson, he does get a touch. And wins the throw off Mel Sage. Wilson to Stewart. Cross to Diori, and Pickering misses his tackle completely, leaving Diori free on the right. Paul Williams now for Derby County. Downfield, Saunders in there, but it's Chelsea who come away with the ball. Wilson again to Hall. Cross to Stewart. Stewart with a shot. And not far wide. Good effort by young Stewart. So as the moments tick out, it's Derby County 4, Chelsea 5. Harford now. That's too heavy for Callahan. He'd come in field, a throw into Chelsea. I think Derby County are going to have to accept this as a defeat, which is a shame in their respect, as they'd fought back to 4-all. Firstly 3-all and then fought back again to 4-all. To lose the final goal, a disaster. But we're still on the pitch. That's Saunders. And an indirect free kick for Derby County, and this is really the last ditch effort, I would think. And there was that stealing in the far post. It was Michael Forsyth and he missed it. And Chelsea clear. Throw into Derby County. Vital last second injury time we're in now. The second minute of injury time. Paul Williams pumps the ball forward. Saunders in fact clears it for Chelsea. Sage forward, only to Dorigo. And Chelsea storming away. What a run by Dorigo. Resists the challenge of Hebbard. Now it's Stewart. Outside Sage. Comes across and it's there! And that's Graham Lasso in the 90th minute. Graham Lasso makes the score. Derby County 4, Chelsea 6. What an extraordinary game this has been. And there it's ended. What a fantastic game in terms of goal action. 10 goals we've seen. Kerry Dixon gave Chelsea the lead in 11 minutes. Dean Saunders equalised in 15. Kerry Dixon again scored in 41 and Gordon Dury 44 to give Chelsea a 3-1 half-time lead. And then we go to Dean Saunders 66, Trevor Hebbard 62, Dean Saunders 66 for a 3-all scoreline before Gordon Dury again, or Dennis Wise should I say, put Chelsea back in front in 76 minutes. Derby County again equalised in 75 minutes with Gary Micklewhite. That was 4-all. And then the final two goals, Gordon Dury 84 and Graham Lasso 90, to give a scoreline Derby County 4, Chelsea 6. And with that, it's Mike Wilson saying goodbye from the baseball ground.